Hello, I'm Takoish and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about a very old and previously outclassed weapon being saved by a convenience feature of all things, giving it the new life that it needed to be an interesting weapon, but in the modern Terraria meta. So, the Flower of Fire previously was a pretty outclassed weapon. Other than its surprising 50 base damage, everything else about it was pretty underwhelming. It didn't pierce, it had and still has these though visually nice, lackluster in terms of power and pretty much everything else fireballs. And pretty much everything about it was average, except its damage, which really wasn't that useful because it didn't pierce. The worst part about it was the fact that you both had to be pretty close to your enemy to use it, as it was almost impossible to hit things at long range with those bouncy fireballs. And also that it was semi-auto, meaning that every time you wanted to fire your fireballs, you had to click for it every single time. And while that was not too great, seeing as it was a 10 to 14 frame window for perfect fire rate, and also a 10 to 14 frame window for its, spoiler alert, pretty great DPS. But without it, you kinda got, ignore that. Enemies getting angry. You got that. And this is okay DPS. I mean, not really what you'd want out of a weapon that doesn't pierce or do anything interesting. But that's just what you get by spam clicking. Now, by clicking perfectly, you would get a much nicer 250, but due to human error, it was quite inconsistent, and when you were under pressure, and considering you'd be under a lot of pressure because you'd be fighting the wall of flesh with this, it's not really too great. However, 1.4.4 added a new feature called autofire. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it is a completely new, added like 2 or 3 days ago in the Labor of Love update, which I will add again, came out 2 or 3 days ago in the making of this video. And when you turn this on, it's pretty much like it is the equivalent of downloading OmniSwing. If you don't know what OmniSwing is, it takes every weapon in the entire game and makes it auto-fire. Now, hey, this weapon that before was very much held back by being semi-auto is now fully automatic. I wonder what that's going to do. Now, if you look at the DPS in the corner, you're getting 300 DPS, or if you count the highs and lows, 320 DPS in pre-hard mode. Now that is an actual damage per second number worthy of its individual damage per shot. That is just insane. The fact that you can do 350 damage against a single target in pre-hard mode is amazing. And again, it still doesn't pierce, and it's still bad against crowds, and it's still bad against the Queen Bee and the Wall of Flesh. But do you know what boss it is good against? But not the Brain of Cthulhu or the Eater of Worlds, but do you know what boss it's actually good against? Deerclops. This weapon is absolutely perfect. It doesn't thrive in long range, and it does a lot of damage. So that's pretty much all you need for Deerclops. A way to actually whittle down its massive health bar, and and the ability to not rely on being on the exact opposite side of the world from it. Because if you're more than the distance between this... Because if you're more from the distance between this dummy and that door right there, you're not going to be able to do damage to deer claws. So, there you go. A weapon that was previously pretty bad is now, with a random convenience feature, is now a pretty solid weapon and a good addition to any mage's arsenal. So I guess that's all I have to say for today. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you feel that I missed anything, or that I should change something about the video, leave your opinion in the comments. And well, this is Decoy signing out.